Hello everybody, welcome into another lesson. So today we're going to review the distributive property from pre-algebra. So we have any random constant a times the quantity of x plus y. The reason this is called a distributive property is because you distribute that a through the quantity of x plus y. What you do is you take that constant times x, so you'll get ax plus that constant times y, and you'll get ay. So you'll get ax plus ay. You can also do this distributive property with more than 2 inside the parentheses. I distribute the a with x, you get ax plus ay. You'll get ay plus az. A times z, you'll get az. Now, for this last example here, before we get into problems with this, we have a times the quantity of x minus y. I need everyone to do yourselves a favor right now. Whenever you see a quantity that like x minus y or what have you, or anything similar, or like x minus 7 or y minus 2, get used to it being x plus negative y. Treat that as x plus negative y, or x plus negative 7, or y plus negative 2. So I distribute the a to the x, I'll get ax, it'll be a times x plus a times the negative y here, which would simplify to ax minus ay. So let's get into some problems here. Alright, let's say we have 3 times x plus 2. So we're given the distributive property, we have 3 times x plus 2. Well, we got to take 3 times the first term, x, which would just be 3x, plus we have 3 times 2. So we have 3 times x plus 3 times 2, which would equal 3x plus then 3 times 2, that's 6. So the answer you would get is 3x plus 6. I got plenty more examples. Alright, we got 5 times a plus 7. We got 5 times a plus 7. Well, I'm going to take that 5 times a, which would just be 5a, then plus that 5 times my 7, which when we simplify this further would give us 5a, plus what's 5 times 7, that'd be 35. So the answer you would get is 5a plus 35. Alright. We got 2 times the quantity of 3x minus y. So we got 2 times the quantity of 3x minus y. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take that 2 times that 3x. Remember that 3x minus y, we want to treat like 3x plus negative y. So you'll have plus 2 times the negative y, which when we go to simplify this further, 2 times 3x is 6x, plus we have positive 2 times negative y, that'd be negative 2y, or simply 6x minus 2y. So the answer to this would be 6x minus 2y. Alright, we got 3 times j minus k. So we got 3 times j minus k. Well, to distribute this, we're going to take 3 times j, which would just be 3j, plus we'll take that 3 times that negative k, which when we go to simplify this further, you'll still have 3j. Now you have positive 3 times negative k, that would give you negative 3k, so you'd have 3j minus 3k. The answer you get is 3j minus 3k. Now what if you saw something like this? You have 2x plus 3y, that quantity, times 5. Sometimes when you do the distributive property, you'll find the constant you're distributing it by on the right hand side. Well, if you want, by the commutative property of multiplication, you can bring the constant to the left hand side to make your distribution a lot easier. So the quantity of 2x plus 3y times 5 is the same as 5 times the quantity of 2x plus 3y by the commutative property of multiplication. Now we're going to distribute. You'll take 5 times 2x plus you'll take that 5 times 3y, which when we go to simplify this, 5 times 2x, that's 10x, plus we got 5 times 3y, that's 15y. So the answer you would get is 10x plus 15y. Alright, let's see here. Let's do some similar problems, but a little bit harder. So we'll have 4 times the quantity of x plus 3, all that plus 3. Well, we want to simplify this expression. What you got to do is, of course, your parentheses come first, your distributive property comes first, your multiplication. This is multiplication, that would come before all your addition. So you do your distributive property, you'll take 4 times x plus that 4 times that 3. Then you just have that plus 3 that's hanging out. Well, let's simplify this further. You'll still have 4x. That much is true. You'll get 4x plus 4 times 3. That's 12. Then you got the plus 3 hanging out. Now you just simply add up the like terms. You'll still have 4x plus 12 plus 3. 12 plus 3, that's 15. So the answer you would get is 4x plus 15 if we simplified it. Alright, let's see. We got 3 times the quantity of n minus 1 plus 4. So we want to simplify this. 3 times the quantity of n minus 1 plus 4. Well, of course, our multiplication comes first, which in this case is the distributive property. You'll take 3 times the n, will give you 3n, plus 3 times that negative 1, all that plus 4, which just kind of hangs out there. So you'll still have your 3n, plus that you got 3 times negative 1, that's minus 3. Then you just have that 4 that hangs out. Well, let's simplify this a little bit further. You still have 3n, but then you have negative 3 plus positive 4. That would give you positive 1. So the answer you're looking for here is going to be 3n plus 1 once you simplify this. Alright, we got 7 plus 2 times the quantity of 5 minus x. Alright, so we got 7 plus 2 times the quantity of 5 minus x. Well, of course, order of operations dictates we do the multiplication first, so you'll still have that 7 hanging out, plus, now you're going to take that 2 times the 5, so you'll take 2 times 5, plus you'll take that 2 times that negative x, Let's simplify this further. You'll still have 7 plus 2 times 5, which is 10, plus 2 times negative x, that'd be negative 2x. Simplify it further, 7 plus 10, that's 17, minus 2x. So the answer you're looking for is 17 minus 2x. That's exactly what you get, 17 minus 2x. Or you could also write it as negative 2x plus 17. If you're real gun-ho on the variable coming first, it's negative 2x plus 17. So you could write it either way. Just go by what your teacher wants, however they prefer it. As for me, I'm not picky, but alright, we got 9 times the quantity of n minus 3 plus 4n. So we got 9 times the quantity of n minus 3 plus 4n. Well, again, order of operations dictates we do the multiplication first, which would be the distributive property here. So 9 times n, that'd be 9n. Then you'll do plus that 9 times that negative 3. All that plus 4n just decides it wants to hang out by itself over there. Well, let's simplify this sum here. We have 9n. Now plus 9 times negative 3, that'd be negative 27. Then we have plus 4n. We'll simplify this further. We're going to add the like terms. 9n plus 4n, that'll give you 13n. Then you just have the minus 27. So the answer you'd be looking for is 13n minus 27. Alright, let's do one more here. This one's going to be a bit of a doozy. This will be the last problem for today. So you have 6 times r plus 5 plus 9 times r minus 2 minus 4r. Yeah, that one looks like a bit of a doozy. We got 6 times the quantity of r plus 5 plus 9 times the quantity of r minus 2 minus 4r. Well, order of operations still dictates you do your multiplication first, which would be the distributive property. So let's start with the first term here. We'll have 6 times r, which would just simply be 6r, plus that 6 times 5, plus you have that 9 times r, which would simply be 9r, plus you have that 9 times the negative 2, then you just have minus 4r hanging out there. Well, let's simplify this sum here. We'll still have 6r plus 6 times 5, well that's 30, plus 9r, plus 9, we got 9 times negative 2, that'd be minus 18, then all that minus 4r. Alright, now we just simply need to add up the like terms. We need to simplify this by collecting like terms, it's called, or by adding like terms, simplifying, however you want to call it. So we got 6r, I start with the variable first, 6r plus 9r minus 4r. So 6r plus 9r is 15r minus 4r, that's going to be 11r. You get 11r. Then you have 30 minus 18, which is 12. That'd be positive 12. So in the end, you would end up getting 11r plus 12. That would be your final result. So the distributive property, really simple. You're just going to do nothing more than distribute the constant that's outside, or sometimes you'll have a variable outside of the parentheses. You'll take that, you'll multiply it by the first term, then you'll do it plus whatever's outside of the parentheses times the second term in the parentheses. And then you just simplify your results and you'll come up with an expression. And that's really all there is to the distributive property. Next lesson, we're going to focus heavily on simplifying expressions, and some of them aren't very pretty. I'm not going to lie, some of them aren't very pretty, but we'll get through it. I'll show you how to simplify not so pretty expressions. So, hope everyone has a good night. Take care.